Hey, Shalom, mashallah. I want to start off source by giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kakodash. My double honors to the apostles of GMS and honors to you brothers doing the work in truth, while sincerity. Yeah, look, man, just going to go into this real quick. It came out, that the shooter, what you call it, from what was it, yesterday? I believe now. Yesterday was so-called Israelite, right? Not so-called as he is an Israelite, but he's so-called Black Hebrew Israelite, which we don't go by that name, but that just shows you the disrespect this devil has. We say he hates when you don't call him what he is. Well, we're saying that these guys ain't the real Jews. They have a problem with that, but then they ain't gonna correctly identify us, right? And yeah, we do have a problem with it, right? Because you're spreading lies, but it's okay, right? We know these things were meant to happen, and just on this particular matter, this is more than likely a false flag, right? Because we are getting up towards that time now, that time when the Israelites will be brought under the spotlight. These fucking bloody Christmas ads, man, all over the place. It's taking up most of the damn screen, man. But yeah, look, brothers, this is what you signed up for, man. This is what you signed up for. They're going. This is just the beginning, man. They going get the people's attention. Go and try and make it look like we're some evil hate group or whatever. Something I just thought to do. Something I just thought to do. Let's see what the comment section is saying, because the Mail is one of them. What do you call it? It's one of them outlets, one of them places where you get a lot of bloody racists on the comment boards, right? 100 comments. Let's see what's happening here. Too much hate in this horse. This was a hate crime against Jews. Mayor of Jersey City confirmed this. What caused them to do this? And hate caused them to do this is terrorism. Yesterday I spent a lot of time. So far, funnily enough, that ain't a lot on what do you call it? But this is what do you call it? This is part of it, though, right? The fact that it was against so-called these so-called Jews, right? Which we don't condone that, man. The Lord said, "Wait ye upon me." We're gonna get that in the scriptures, right? But they've pulled at the heartstrings of the people, right? So once that's why we say it's more than likely a false flag, but you will get into the scriptures, man. This is 2 Corinthians 10:4. It says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds." Right? Because what are these? This is why we're spiritual. As well, we know that this guy he ain't affiliated with Great Millstone. Right? We know that because he ain't acting like a member of Great Millstone would behave. Because one of the things we know to do is we know that we've got to wait upon the Lord. Right? Whenever, you might get a guy, he'll come to camp and he'll be in a crowd when he's all, talking, "Oh yeah, I want to go do this, I'm going to do that." And the brother's always like, "Yo, man, look, man, ain't the time." Right? And there's countless records of us doing that on camera. Well, we said, "Nah, you don't want to be doing that. You got to wait upon the Lord," right? So we know that we know that this particular individual ain't affiliated with Great Millstone, right? We understand that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal; they're not of the flesh, right? Our defense comes from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because we can't do anything on our own, right? This man has let me grab that real quick. This is Revelation 6:4. It says, "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth." And who gave him this power? Right? The Most High, Yahweh. The Most High is the one who gave Esau the power to take peace from the earth. Therefore, if you're trying to take this man down of your own accord, right, you're going up against the Most High, right? And that's going off, right? Everyone's got to know their own. Everyone's got a lot. Sorry, let me try that again. Slut, right? Everyone's got to wait for what the Most High has allotted, right? The Most High says Esau's gonna rule for X amount of more months and X amount of more weeks or whatever, what have you, right? He's going to rule that much more, and not a second less, and not a second more, right? So I'll finish this and I'll prove that as well. It says, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So Esau's been given, all manner of weaponry, right, to take peace from the earth, right, and to control the earth. And the Lord has given him that, right? For instance, he's got his nukes, he's got his bioweapons. So how are you gonna try to fight against that, right? Esau's gonna be in power up until the point the Most High wants him to be in power. So all we gotta do is teach the word, right, to the pulling down of strongholds, because that's why he's getting offended, right? That's why he's trying to defend these guys so hard, because these so-called Jews, right, because they're trying to be who we are, right, and we're telling the world that actually no, you're not you're not the Israelites, right? You're not the real Jews. And they don't like that. They hate that, because then when people start thinking, actually, you're right, what are they going to do after that? So Job 14:5, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. Right? So the Lord has bounds for Esau, right? The Lord has allotted, down to the finite point that we can't even imagine, because it's saying down to the milliseconds, this is the most I we're dealing with, right? Down to the finite point, Esau's going to be in power, right? And then after that, it will be the children of Israel. Thus saith the scriptures, right? Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? This is Romans 8:6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace, right? Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be, right? Because to be carnally minded, like basically you want to do whatever you're trying to control shit, you're trying to take things into your own hands, right? And what did when Yahweh Shai was basically saying, look man, this is what's gonna happen to me, and Peter was like, no, it ain't gonna happen. What did Yahweh Shai say? When Yahweh Shai is a real name, of whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, right? Yahweh Shai said, get thee behind me, Satan, right? Because Yahweh Shai, they understand, look, you can't fight against what the Most High wants to happen, right? You just gotta let it come to pass, right? And one of the things that is said to happen is, in fact, let me grab that. This is Matthew 10:18. It says, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. Right? It says, and when they deliver you up. So we're going to be brought before, maybe not everyone, but those, they're going to be men, right, who are going to be brought before governors and kings for the name of the Lord, right? And how can you imagine that? Maybe they're on trial or whatever, what have you, right? So for a testimony against them and the Gentiles, right? So, but when they deliver you up, that's basically that's when I'm reading that, I'm imagining, your trial, you're cuffed up and then you get chucked into a courtroom, dragged into a courtroom or whatever, right? Hey, look at what happened with Yahweh Shai, right? He got brought up before Pilate, and Pilate was like, yo, so what are you saying? Right? It says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in the same hour what ye shall speak. So in that day, but I was just going to remain spiritual. Once again, not trying to control, not trying to plan, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. Because at the end of the day, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But you might have a plan, you might have this great oration, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that. And the Lord has it whereby you get delivered during the night. You don't even have to go to the court. Right? That's why one of the things is just being spiritual, man. And that's something that is pushed heavy at Great Millstone. Right? You got to be spiritual. You can't be carnal. Right? Which the scripture says, you shall be brought before kings for my sake. Right? You ain't supposed to be, getting hemmed up for no for being carnal, right? just randomly going up and punching a guy. What these guys were doing, taking, assault weapons. When the apostles, cursed that shit out, man. Right? Having guns and all that. All right, our defense is in the scriptures. Scriptures saying, in fact, let me get that. It says, where is that? This is Psalms 34:7. It says, the angel of Yahweh encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. Right, so that's our defense. Our defense is we're protected by the angels of the Lord. But all we got to do is please the Most High, do what the Most High says, and the Lord will keep that hedge. Right, says Job, the first chapter somewhere. Right, it says Job 1 and 9, 1 verse 9 and 10. It says then it's basically the Lord Yahweh is setting, basically having a bet with Satan. Right. It says then Satan answered Yahweh and said, doth Job fear the Most High for naught? Right. Hast not thou made an hedge about him and about his house, right, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. Right. So basically what Satan was saying, there was, what we just read in Psalms, right, about how the Lord will set a hedge, the Lord will set his angels around you, right? The Lord had a hedge around Job, protecting him and his family, right? Which once again, this is one of the reasons why we do this thing, right? So the Lord has a hedge about us, in this coming, in this perilous times to come, around us and around our family, man, right? So that's that hedge, that's that protection. That's who we have faith in, right? And you live by the gun, you die by the gun, man. Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, right, that righteous anger, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy, right? And we always bring this up, why? Because every now and then someone does something carnal, right, or someone's being carnal, right? And then you got to say, look, man, we got to wait upon the Lord. Now, we can't take this into our own hands. The Lord will destroy you for that. And we read it in Romans 8 and 6. Right, the carnal mind is enmity with the Most High, right? So we got to wait upon the Lord until the day that He, decides to judge the nations, right? Which is appointed and time. All we got to do is wait. Right? It says Habakkuk 2 and verse 3. For the vision is for an appointed time, right? So all these prophecies will come to pass at the time when they're meant to come to pass. Right? You ain't supposed to be trying to force it. You just got to roll with the spirit, right? It says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, right? So though it tarries, though it seems like it's taking a long time, it says wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, right? So all of these prophecies will come to pass in their due time. Yeah, as men we get impatient. You're catching hell. You're like, Baba Kasha, can we get out of this place now? Can we get out of this place, yesterday, right? But all the prophecies still have to, come to pass, right? And that's just the way it is, right? This is 2 Corinthians 2:11, right? Now get this, it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, right? Now, I'm getting this because, looking at that, I was like, look, man, that's probably a setup, man, right? That's probably a setup. And they're gonna start coming down on brothers, and this is what we signed up for, man. Let me grab this. So Luke 14:28 says, for which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Right, so yeah, before you start a building project, whatever, what have you, But you got to sit down and be like, okay, cool. The roof is gonna cost this much. The door is gonna cost that much. The windows and the carpets and all of this is gonna cost. It's gonna be this much. And that's the same thing when you come into this thing. You really got to count the cost, right? Hey, if you're scared, that these things are happening to you, you gotta pray for the Most High to take that, fearful spirit. Well, no, that's all of us. So we gotta pray. The Lord takes that spirit off us, man. Right? Because these things are gonna happen. We just gotta accept it. But there's the beauty of when it does happen, of what comes after, right? Right, so second Ezra's 14:14. Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. Right? So the scriptures talk about renewing of your mind. When you come in, your mind gets renewed, you get hardened in the spirit, right? And things that used to affect you less and less, right? But yeah, that's all I got. So as always, Lord, that was edifying. Till the next time, Shalom.